Hi guys, this is Tarun Reddy. I work as Associate General Manager HR here at Square Yards. Leaving Square Yards was never a part of my plan, but pursuing my masters was. So working with for 2 solid years with Square Yards taught me a lot of things. And moving to London and pursuing my masters and gaining a lot of abroad exposure made me as a better person professionally and personally. So when I was done with my phase in London and my overseas education, when I was thinking about moving back to India and what should I do, Square Yards was the first thing that always came to my mind because it was the ownership, the belongingness, and also it also always felt like home, not some workplace that any random corporate employee would always go to 5 days a week. I happened to work with a couple of CEOs in my corporate career. Having said that, Tanuj was the first person whom I felt invested a lot of time making sure work culture and the environment in the workplace should be given a very most priority, just with an intention to make it a place where every person or every employee who comes to work feels belong, feels happy, and feels like coming back to work again the very next day. So answering your question, work culture was something I would say the first reason which made me feel like coming back to Square Yards as the first choice when I moved back to India. Career growth is something that was a part of my major milestone which I experienced in Square Yards. I joined them as a regional HR manager back in 2021, and then I got promoted to associate general manager in 2022, and then I'm back again resuming as an associate general manager again in HR in 2026. So you can see the career growth here because I've started with a single city. Now I'm managing around a couple of countries, a couple of regions, which is giving me a major exposure of expanding my core skills, acquiring multiple regions into my forte and understanding that I am capable of doing something. So Square Yards always makes you realize that you are capable of something bigger than whatever you have already thought of. Square Yards being a major firm, being majorly driven by the sales force, is quite often misunderstood as a regular sales force company or any other company which is towards majorly focusing towards their sales. But the reason that Square Yards is what it is today is because with having around 125 crores as just incentives in the last financial year is the number that totally proves what Square Yards is towards its sales force. So the numbers always speak for themselves. Talking about when a person or an employee misunderstands for what Square Yards is today, I would always say they're actually going wrong. I would suggest them to spend more time within the organization to understand it much better. Firstly, if I would recommend someone, that would be a skeptical question because I wouldn't recommend it to everyone because it's not everyone's cup of tea. Someone who is looking to grow, someone who is looking to achieve bigger things in their life on a very stable and constant run within a single organization, and someone who's trying to understand that you want to go big, you'll have to achieve and work big. If these three conditions or if these three fields are very much matching their own, expectations towards an organization, then yes, I would totally recommend them. And secondly, why I would recommend only such people to the organization is because Square Yards is a place where it always prefers their employees to grow along with the company. And I feel an individual who is matching these particular fields will always prefer to grow along with the company, not just by themselves.